Hi, hello creatives, welcome back or to my channel. My name is Lindsay and today we are wrapping up my reading journal for 2023. This will be a spoil-free video because if you've watched any of my other reading journal videos, you'll know that I very quickly forget what happens in a book after I read it. So I'm not really going to be able to give any spoilers. So that's good news. And you know, it's a miracle if I even remember the characters' names. But I have printed out ahead of time all of the book covers and such that I need to go back and complete this. I really wanted to, I fell behind for the last 6 months or so in updating this journal. I did keep track of the days that I was reading and some of my yearly collections part of this journal, but the actual book spreads itself, I completely fell off, but I really wanted to have this updated. So I sat down and I recorded 2.5 hours worth of footage and then edited it down to 25 minutes for you guys. But I go through, you'll be able to see a lot of my reading journal pages, but I will do a separate flip through of this journal because I still just to kind of show everyone the first 2 quarters, but you will see a lot in this video of what this journal looks like. But I'm going through right now and I'm adding in the rest of the books that I read for this year. I did reach my reading goal. I believe it was 20 books and I read 23. The last 2 books that I read were kind of an easy way out because they were just little novellas off of the Books app. No, I think it was off Kindle actually. No, they were off Kindle of just little romance, holiday, Christmas themed ones that because I'm a slow reader, as if you've been, on this channel before, watching any of these reading journal videos, you'll know that I am a very slow reader and I just cannot quite commit to a 300 plus book or 300 page book to read in the month of December. It's just not quite possible for me, but you'll also, apologies in advance, you'll see my undiagnosed little ADHD brain go through and bounce from one page to another page to another page. So I did a quick flip through there of one page that I don't actually use, which were the recommendations from friends or from TikTok, just because there's way too many and there's constantly books that are added to my imaginary TBR. And that's a spread that I definitely won't put in my 2024 reading journal. And then you'll see there quickly that I went through and plugged in my book of the year, my favorite book of the year, which, if you noticed, was A Court of Mist and Fury, which was top notch book. I loved it so much. Such a good book. And I definitely already want to reread the ACOTAR series. I did finish A Court of Silver Flames this year already, and I definitely want to go back and reread. But I have the Throne of Glass series on order from Amazon that I ordered the box series for $126 Canadian, but unfortunately I don't get it till July. So I have to wait until July for that. And so I have to, fill my fantasy romantasy void with something else. I have a ton of books on my physical TBR that I can definitely dive into. I do have Fourth Wing and both Iron Flame because I am so guilty of buying the entire series before I even read the first book. So that's definitely a toxic trait of mine before I even know that I'm going to like the book. But I know I'm going to like the book. I am not very picky. I am not I don't critique books crazily, I guess. If I like the book, I like the book. I don't know really the true difference in bad writing and good writing. I'm sure if it was really bad, I would know, but because I'm a math girly, English in school, I skipped that class a lot. So, it's very easy to please me. and I give out 4 or 5 stars like it's nobody's business. But so I'm going through and I'm doing my first page of the first book that I read in the third quarter here, which is just a free book off of the Audible. When I was going back and forth to work when I was going back and forth to work, I definitely dabbled in the audiobooks regularly because I didn't really listen to music. Which I love music, but I listened to my audiobooks and I really enjoyed that. And so I was reading these fluffy billionaire romances that were my jam at the time. And this was, I didn't realize that this is a part of a series, but I believe it's all part of like a standalone series of different people all about billionaire men. So definitely up my alley to just kind of dabble in some fluff back and forth from work. So I really enjoyed that. But when I don't give a book more than like 4 or more stars, I don't create a page like what I'm about to do right now. I just kind of put the cover and then information about it. But as you saw that the Banking the Billionaire book, wow, a lot of B's. For that book, I do like a double page, but in my 2024 reading journal, I haven't set it up yet, but I will. I've only read 3 books so far this year, so I'm definitely behind in my reading goal for this year, which is 24 books, which is 2 a month. So we will see if I actually get there, but it's just a goal and I have no pressure on myself. But anyways, if I, for my 2024 reading journal, I don't want to take up 2 pages for books that don't get at least the 4 or 5 stars. So I actually think I won't be including them in my reading journal per se. I think I'm going to have a separate little traveler's notebook journal that's just going to have the summary and my review of all books I've read, and then anything that's 4 stars and above. I'm going to do a collage like what you see I'm doing right now, just so that I don't fill up a book so quickly, and I don't it's not necessary. Like this size book is a B5 size, and I think I'm going to continue to use a B5 size for my 2024 reading journal as well. And I am going to use these Costco notebooks, which this one's from Costco that I got a few years ago now, but I'm not one to I don't want to fork out $45 to go buy a new book or a new notebook, and B, I have 4 others of these and I really don't want them to go to waste. I want to use what I have. So I don't want to say waste pages, because it's not wasting pages, but I don't want to use a page on a book that I'm not loving per se to kind of write down just basic information, especially because on these collage pages that I do, I don't indicate that basic information. I don't put the author down. I don't put the title down. All right, false. I do put the title down, but I don't put the author, the genre, the format, anything like that. It's really just when I read it, the star rating, and then the title, because obviously I put a title on the page that I'm doing. So I don't think I'm going to use those for my 2024 journal, but for this one, I just wanted to continue to do this notebook the way I had originally began it for the beginning of the year. And it worked out because I only had 2-3 extra pages at the end of it. But I'm doing a collage for the fine print. This was, I believe this, I listened to the audiobook, but I think that the next 2 books in the series are not on Audible. Or at least they weren't when I looked, because I remember reading the fine print and then I went to go read, I think it's Terms and Conditions is the next one, and it wasn't on Audible. And I was very frustrated. I'm like, why didn't I look at that before I started reading them? Because I like to generally read the series back to back. So then I had to jump to a new series, and actually you'll see I have a few spreads coming up that are for the Twisted series. I ended up reading all 4 of those books because they were all on Audible. So I read those. Oh, look, I did put my review on this page. I recorded this not that long ago, but I still kind of forget what I do. But yeah, so that was a collage for the fine print, which I love doing collage type spreads for the books that I read because, again, I would say days after I'm done reading it, I completely forget what I read. There's a few things that I remember, obviously, when I look at pictures. That's kind of why I do it as a collage as opposed to writing down my thoughts and feelings over a book. I like to use pictures to kind of tell the story of the book through the pictures. And yeah, I just much prefer it as photos, to look at it through photos. And then it's also a nice reminder that if you're not good with words, like myself, then it's not necessary to, have to have a huge blurb, because I see a lot of people that do reading journals. They write down their thoughts and feelings over what they just read, and I'm just not good at that. So I want to write pictures to have memories of the books that I read and the books that I really enjoyed, because I believe myself when I really enjoyed it, even if I don't remember everything that happens. But then, so I think there's only these 2 books, and then I do one more collage in for the 3rd quarter of books that I read. So then there was a total of 4 books that I read in the 3 months. And so A Court of Frost and Starlight was the next one, which this one took me a very long time when it's only 229 pages. It almost kind of put me into a reading slump, although I did really enjoy the book. But did I find it necessary? No. But I loved the characters. I love, being back into this world. So that was great. But to me, it was just a little dull, especially coming off of, A Court of Mist and Fury and then A Court of Wings and Ruin, like coming off of those 2 books to something that fell kind of flat for me. But again, loved the characters, loved being able to see the different perspectives of different characters. That was great. And then I started the Twisted series, and Twisted Love, I remember when I was listening to it, I'm like, what am I reading? And it just I remember not feeling the connection between the 2 characters. But it's funny, when I went to go, because I saw it all over TikTok, and then when I went and kind of dove deeper into people's thoughts and feelings over the Twisted series, there was a lot of consensus that the first book is not as good as the next 3. And I'm the type of person that I'd like to finish what I started. So I already had intentions of reading the next 3 or listening to the next 3. So it didn't quite matter to me that the first one, it wasn't bad per se, but it just didn't really tickle my fancy. So yeah, but I still, kept to it and read the next one, Twisted Games. And I apologize, my battery died on my camera. So then there was a quick jump after I pulled out all of the stickers and such that I wanted to use. So there was a little bit of a stop there, but my battery died because, again, this footage was 2.5 hours long, and my battery life does not go that long. But so I continued to read the books. The next one was Twisted Games, and I did really enjoy this one. I believe I rated this one 4 stars. I think there was only 4 stars. There was only one book in the Twisted series that I gave 5 stars, which is actually not, I think most people like Twisted Hate, I feel like is the most common to be like their favorite of the book, but Twisted Lies was my favorite. Can I tell you why now? Absolutely not, because I don't remember, which I find is bad. When I rate a book 5 stars, I feel like I should remember much more of it than I do, but I just don't. But anyways, so here's the collage that I do for Twisted Games. I really liked how these collages came out. I did a little bit of a different style than what I normally do. Normally they're heavily collaged and lots of layers and that sort of thing. I did more of a like grid style collage where there's not a lot of overlapping. There's some, because that's just kind of what I'm used to and what my style generally is. But the next 2 collages for sure are more are more of a grid style, which again, I think actually turned out really, really good. I really liked them. But I did Twisted Games on a separate, I wrote out the title on a separate piece of paper to keep them, stand out, make them stand out a lot more. And generally when I do these collages, as you can kind of see, there's a process that I do, and I normally always lay out the photos first, keeping in mind of where I want to put the title, add in my stickers, and then generally add in the title last once I know where I'm putting it. But here's me jumping back. I think, because this is where I was getting confused, because I thought I printed out all of my stats book covers, but I actually missed the fourth quarter. There was 4 books that I read in the fourth quarter, and I missed printing those out. So I do print them out later. You don't see me printing them out here, but I just printed them out actually on my HP Sprocket because I didn't want to print out a whole page of books because that just felt like a lot of work. But see, now I jump back to my third quarter and I write down the stats of the third quarter that I didn't do before. Read, 229 pages. Oh yeah, because only one of them was a physical book. And then 48 hours worth of audiobooks, which is pretty good. I always listen to them at 1.4 times. I find that that's the perfect speed to not alter the voices to make them chipmunky and squeaky. And so I like to listen to them at 1.4 speed so that it's a little bit quicker. And it's a little bit quicker, and it doesn't change them to be squeaky, which I don't want to read. I don't want to listen to people that are squeaky. But here you'll see I look forward a lot in like, geez, how many more pages do I have? Just because I record these at nighttime. And sometimes I want to go to bed because I never know when my baby's going to wake up and I need to feed her and stuff. So I don't always have a lot of time, of a big chunk of time. So I definitely kept looking to see, okay, how many pages do I still have left to do, which is bad. But I did really enjoy doing these, obviously, but I just had to be time aware as well. But here's my page for Twisted Hate. I really liked these pictures, and I always try to kind of tell a story with the pictures as well as trying to balance out the colorings. Seems crazy, but I like to generally, as you see on the left page, it has like characteristics of them. And then on the right page, it has more of them together, except there was one more picture of Jules there in the window. But generally, I like to kind of balance it out that like there's equal photos of his personality and her personality, and then the combo pictures together. It's all about balance for me. And that's why I actually played with this one a lot more than I normally play around with the pictures. Generally, they go down pretty quickly. I feel like that this one just took me a little bit longer. But I like using the washi tape style stickers for these spreads so that they blend in really nice, because the paper in this journal is yellow. So when I use stickers that have that white background, they stand out a lot. So I definitely like using the washi style stickers so that, again, they blend right into the page and they don't, stick out like a sore thumb. But see, I put down the pictures and where I want to put the pictures, then I add in my stickers as like background and some washi tape sometimes. And then you'll see the 2 main spots where I want to put the title. So yeah, I just made sure that those stayed clear so that I had enough room for the title. And I like to match generally I like to match the book coloring with the pictures so that so that the spread that I'm doing kind of would match the book cover and would match what the book is kind of about. So Twisted Hate being there was a lot of red that stuck out, and I mean Jules has red hair, so red was definitely an obvious choice, but even the book cover itself, Twisted Hate, is red. That's just what I like to do. I know that it's not for everyone to try and match to the pages. Sometimes you just want to kind of use the stickers that you have, and if it kind of matches the style, even if it doesn't match. I know Mochi Bujo, her reading journals, they don't match. Like her spreads don't match what the book is about at all. And that's great because, you don't want to kind of feel stuck if you don't have pictures or something that match that. And then you don't want to feel like you have to go and buy something to match it. So I like when, you're like, it's free and you use whatever stickers you want to use. Just use up your stash, right? So. But yeah, I like to match them just because that's me. But I also made sure that for these ones that I chose pictures that had their names in it, so that when I look back, because the 4 books kind of all really blend together. Like you have the gist of what they're kind of about, obviously, and there's certain things that I remember more so about which books. But because I read them literally back to back, I finished one, I started the next one. They do definitely blend together for me, but so that's why I wanted to have them kind of all matching spreads essentially by using the same. You'll see that the font of the 2 characters' names, I chose a picture, same one for all 4 books of the 4 books characters' names. But yeah, so this is my last spread. I think this is my last, this is the last collage spread in this video. And this is for Twisted Lies, which was the only one that I gave 5 stars to. And I used these stickers that I got from, I think I got them from Temu. I think I actually have a video recorded of a stationery haul back before my daughter was born that I never ended up posting, but I think I might go ahead and post it. Anyways, I got these stickers and I really liked them. But as I went to go do this spread, I realized that they are not like Kiss Cut stickers. None of them are like, you can't just peel the sticker off and put it down. I had to cut them out. I was not impressed. I was not impressed for the effort that I had to put into using these stickers, but I really liked them because they have like the not holographic, what am I trying to say? The like rose gold, what's it called? Why am I drawing a blank for foiling, gold foiling. Thank you. There we go. Figured it out. But the gold foiling, I really liked how they, made the page stick out. But you'll see in this one specifically what I was mentioning before about the grid style. This is completely grid style. None of the pictures or anything are overlapping, which again, I really liked how it came out. And I feel like it fills up the page a lot more because, again, I don't add in my thoughts and feelings. So I want to make sure that there's enough photos and stuff. Oddly enough, that my favorite book ends up having my favorite spread. But for the 3 books that I did, I used like a calligraph or a Tombow to a brush pen, whichever I used for the actual title. And then I used a metallic pen to do the shadow. And you can't notice it too much in the like the video footage here, but it looks really good in person. And now for these final 2 books that I read, and these are my little holiday books that I think one was, let me see what the stats are. They're both on Kindle, but one was only 80 pages and the other one was 149 pages. So it was something that I wanted to kind of read at night because we were still putting ourselves to bed when our daughter was going to bed, just because being in that newborn stage, you kind of can't commit to anything at night. You never know what's going to happen. So with reading, at least I was able to kind of read a few pages or read a chapter here and there while I was laying in bed still. Even if, we tried to put her down at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I was still able to kind of do like an hour of reading. And I didn't need to read these 2 books to meet my goal, but I still wanted to read holiday books. So yeah, the first one, The Resting Scrooge Face, I read from December 11th to the 19th, and then the Give a Grump a holiday wish list was from the 19th to the 29th. But I think one of these I did rate 4 stars. Yeah, the Give a Grump a holiday wish list I did rate 4 stars, but I didn't bother doing it as a collage just because it's a novella and it's so short. I definitely didn't want to try and find, Pinterest photos to match it. So I just did this kind of little title page to kind of show. And then I went to Goodreads to gather the information as I normally do, because again, I never remember them. But this is my last page. These are my last pages. And then I will do a quick flip through from the 3rd quarter on. And like I said, I will go ahead and do a full flip through of this reading journal, probably early next week, that it'll be posted. And yeah, but I want to thank you so much if you made it this far. I hope you like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of the things. It means so much to me and helps my channel grow. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye.